Well, good morning, you sexy mother hubbards. It's time for an alternative paper review. Over to the Times. First up this morning, who say call for health warnings on wood-burning stoves to curb pollution. Now, on the face of it, this kind of makes sense, doesn't it? If you have a log burner in your house and it contributes to pollution, maybe there should be some sort of warning on there. Maybe they do need to be regulated. But honestly, what gets me is the complete isolation that right-wing editors like Tony Gallagher, who is ex-The Sun, very much a Murdochian and Telegraph kind of figure, the isolation that these people inhabit. Things are just things, you see. There's no cause and effect. There's no nuance or any contributing factors that we should consider. Contributing factors like this article from The Times. Only 12 weeks ago, North Sea firms urged to invest in oil and gas. Same paper, same editor, seemingly celebrating Sunak for signing off those 300 oil drilling licenses up in the North Sea. Oh, absolutely, we should pull out all of that carbon and stuff it into the atmosphere and raise the Earth's temperature and further push back the net zero target by another 10 years. For seemingly no benefit to us, to the UK, because it's not going to increase our geopolitical security. All of that oil and gas will be sold on the international markets. It's not our gas. So, anyway, here they are celebrating those oil and gas drilling licenses, and only a few weeks later pretending to care about the environment to the extent that we, you and I, might have to rein in our log burner use, guys. But this is how it works, you know? They'll sign off the drilling licenses, they'll scratch each other's backs so each of them can make billions of dollars, pushing back those net zero targets, and then they'll offset it in the regulatory space. They'll be like, yeah, you guys, you're all gonna have to use paper straws now, yeah. Sorry, it's for the environment. Personally, I can't wait for 2024 when they sign off fracking through solar farms and offset it by banning disposable nappies. I mean, it sounds like I'm joking, right? But honestly, would you rule that out? Anyway, as I say, the people who write these things and the editors who push out these campaigning headlines seem to exist in this glorious state of complete isolation. No contributing factors, no nuance, nothing touching them at all, just complete isolation. And I can't fault them for it. Like, I've got 2 young kids and an angry girlfriend. Do you know what I would give to be stuck in that sort of cocoon-like state? But what is the context? What is the actual nuance to this? Why are people using log burners? Because central heating is so effing expensive now. It's like these people are supposed to be journalists. Like, look at the wider picture. If you're worried about carbon output, campaign against oil and gas. If you're worried about pollution from the... make central heating cheaper. Anyway, over to the Telegraph now, who have got... oh my goodness, guys, they've got a hell of a scoop. Royal family persuaded Queen to end her days at Balmoral. Because she was on her way out, and they said, do you want to, like, spend your time in your most favourite place? Like, you like Balmoral, don't you? So do you want to head up there? So, yeah, it's not really Pulitzer Prize territory, is it? There is one interesting thing, actually, right down the bottom of the Telegraph, where they say that the police say that prison doesn't work. I mean, that's not to say that it doesn't work at all. Like, if you're violently assaulted by somebody and then they throw that person in the can, you're unlikely to say, oh, I don't know if it's working, really. But in terms of, it being a deterrent or stopping people from re-offending, the police say doesn't work. Doesn't teach people to be better, doesn't teach them to be calmer or address their underlying issues. So ultimately, prison as a sort of punishment doesn't work, guys. Now, I do think we should at least consider that this is the Telegraph, guys. This is Boris Johnson's former home. This is the Bible of Conservative parliamentarians. So I don't know, I do think it's at least interesting that right at the moment that Rishi Sunak, Boris Johnson, Lord Bethel, Michael Gove are all in a lot of hot water for potentially deleting their WhatsApps, potentially committing perjury, and potentially putting themselves in line for a custodial sentence. But it is right at that moment that the normally pro-law and order Conservative Telegraph step forward and say, do you know what? I just don't know if prison even really works though, guys. Like, then we'll just go like, oh, well, yeah, if the conspiracy theory Telegraph say that it's all... yeah, just let them off then, I reckon. Anyway, that's it from me. I shall now go for my morning cry.